Good morning, Jamie here, the Hedge teacher. Welcome. It's Tuesday morning, the 16th of April, 2019 at roughly 10:30 or 10:24 in the morning. So let's check out the markets for today and see what's been going on. Gold we have coming in at $1,285.50, and that's down almost 3 points in the last 24 hours. In fact, that's still showing in the red, even for the last half an hour, going down a little bit more. We had a low there of 1283.20 and a high of 1288. Silver coming in the price at the moment of $15.03, just holding over that $15 mark, and that's down in the red just slightly, and that had a low of 1488 in the last 24 hours and a high of 1508. So these markets now been open for a couple of hours, and we'll see how they go through the day. Platinum's in the green, is up 2 points there, and that's at $894. On to cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, the top three, are slightly in the reds today at the moment. The price there is $5,100.39, so it's still just holding over the $5,000 mark. And some interesting news which we'll talk about in a short while, why and how it is still holding over that $5,000 mark. Ethereum is $163.25, Ripple 32 cents, Bitcoin Cash, and that news we'll talk about soon, is at $350.73, so that's up 5.24%, and Litecoin is 79, so that's sort of come quite a way down from that $100 mark they were talking about a couple of weeks ago that they were hoping to reach. The news we have on CoinGap, we have OKEx denies delisting while major exchanges already delisted. Bitcoin craze peaks in Brazil as the country creates a Latin American record. Onto the crypto potato, the floor starting to shake as Bitcoin retests the $5,000 key level. And again, the Binance delist Bitcoin Cash, more news coming out from yesterday. Moving on to CCN, shareholders want dictator Zuck out as chairman. Bitcoin miners unfazed by Iceland's cold shoulder as energy mount demands. Moving on to crypto, the Bitcoin exchange. We have over the past 24 hours alone, and this is what I was talking about before, Bitcoin processes approximately 7 billion in Bitcoin transactions. 7 billion. So over the last 24 hours, as if to illustrate this fact, approximately 7 billion worth of Bitcoin transactions has been moving on and off chain over this time, amounting to more than 1.3 million Bitcoin moving from person to person. So every single hour, there was more than $250 million moving to various users and addresses. The median transaction coming to 100 and the average reaching 22,000, demonstrating that there's a lot of institutional buying and selling going on amidst these transactions. So let's see how that pans out over the next 24 hours. Other news, yes, we've got the blaze at the Notre Dame Cathedral. There's conspiracy theories starting to arise from that, although they are saying that with the renovations that have been happening at the cathedral, that's what the blame is at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. Any other news comes from there. The EU, European retaliatory tariffs on the US goods, and there's still more with Assange arrests in London still coming through. On to true news, we have Russia's talking about the FM Lavrov, globalists acting like mafia to save the New World Order. Pompeo calls China, Russia hypocrites for investing in Venezuela, and poking the bear has become increasingly dangerous for the West. So there's a lot more news, but more news coming out around the world, and what we have talked about last week and the week before with conspiracy theories and what's happening, what's going on. What I'd like to briefly talk about this morning is about good financial habits and getting into these habits and setting goals for yourself. Set financial goals. And it doesn't have to be huge. I mean, you can do, and you can work your way back. Or you can just start with small goals and build them up as we go along. And that way, if you have small goals, you can tick them off as you achieve them, and then set another goal and another goal. But I think a good way to go is to check your finances regularly. Go into your bank account and see where the money is going. See what you're spending your money on. And if there's something that you see, especially if you're doing it daily, a lot of the times if some money has come out, you might be able to jump on that and get that money back into your account. When it comes to like an automatic payment, something that should have been cancelled, should have been stopped, these things can go on and on and on. So track your money and also see where it's going. Start with, instead of going into the whole budget type of things, just start with picking one area. Let's say grocery shopping, going to the supermarket, buying goods from there. Before you leave home, set a plan, set a goal. Let's say I'll spend only so much today. Yeah, and limit that there. If you're like me, if you go to the supermarket and you're hungry, the impulse then is to buy more, or more things seem to go into the trolley than you really need. If you go on a full tummy, then normally you'd go with your list in hand, buy what you need to buy, and then come out. And if you're only paying with cash, you know that you can only spend so much. Try this for 2 or 3 months. See how it goes. See how it feels to you, and take control of your finances. And from there, then you can set bigger goals, higher goals, and achieve it. If you're finding that the money is running out before the end of the month, then we need to look at increasing ways or ways to increase the finances. And we'll talk about this in the very near future, whether it's multi-level marketing, whether it's putting the money from a rainy day fund, keeping it in a place that can be used when you need to from time to time. Yeah. But taking control of your financial future, you have to do for yourself. The latest statistics out say there is no real. What they're trying to do really is they're going to try to eliminate the middle class. You'll have the rich, the very rich, yes, and then you'll have the poor. But the middle class is shrinking. It's getting smaller and smaller as time goes on. So this is why we need to hedge our own future, to take control of our financial future now, for ourselves and for our family. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow with any of the latest news and the latest prices around the markets. For now, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.